I'm with Gonzalo. This gentleman has been on Marbella radio several times, and he's somebody that I want to keep close to hand because he likes kids, as do I. He wants to defend children's rights, as do I. A lot of people think that children need to be seen, not heard, whereas really it's the other way around. They are our evolution and they are very smart. They might be younger and have less information. But Gonzalo, I know, agrees that they are our future and we need to protect them, teach them, give them confidence. So thank you so much for coming to the TV, Gonzalo. I want everyone to see your face. Remember this face.
Hello. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, really, my pleasure. I love your passion for children, protecting children. You are a child and youth counsellor advisor.
Right.
This is your career, but you've taken it a step further now with an actual project and platform to educate children, parents, teachers. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, it's an observatory. It's the International Observatory on Values and Education in Humanity. The international part, we didn't expect that, but because actually it was going to be about a couple of people that were working on the same approach, which is not so much the clinical psychological approach that usually when it comes to kids, that's what everybody thinks of. This is more a sociological, humanistic approach. Basically, it became international because as soon as I think that we had the first 10 posts online, people from the US were visiting, but then it's being like from the first 15 countries visiting are also Mexico, UK, China, Russia, Colombia.
What were the keywords that you used that made them click?
Well, I think it's not so much about the keywords. I think it's more of the approach, because but basically what we do is we published posts or articles that are meant to be very practical, so that if you have a problem with a kid, or if a kid has a problem with a teacher, or if a teacher has a problem with a father or whatever, they can have a resource that it's easy to, with little guidelines that are easy to apply. And I think that that's why it's expanding so much, because it's not very technical. Although we have very good professionals that are writing the posts, they are specialized in specific areas. And I think that's more or less the secret of it, that first of all, it's not the typical approach, like it's usually clinical, like when we talk about bullying or cyberbullying, we're focusing on specific cases and concrete situations, but then we forget the whole picture. And that's what this approach is about, is if we have a child having a problem, behind that problem there are other structural circumstances that we need to take care of.
I know I work with children a lot through the Chromogen. Children have learning problems, and I know that with a school infrastructure, particularly in Spain, that's very regimented, and obviously you have an education system that's meant to cover for the masses, but we're not all the same. And children, when they're young and they're discovering their personalities, there can be a lot of confrontations of opinions at home, different opinions at school, how they feel themselves. Is this what you find like a common problem? What's the most common, apart from, say, the bullying with children? What are their main issues?
Well, also the other very strong point of the observatory is that it's been made after research with 500 kids. So it's not something that usually adults, like an institution, would say, okay, I'm going to build an observatory to publish, I don't know, protocols for intervention or things like that. These were 500 kids who were giving us the opinions of the issues that are of importance for them. And one point that was very curious is that most of the topics that they want us to talk about are to help adults on how to educate them. It's not like they say, I want personally to have information about this particular issue because it's of interest to me. It's we have problems because adults don't understand us, we don't trust them, we need to trust them. We need limits. They recognize that they need limits, Actually, when you ask them about like the penal law for minors, you tell them where should be the age, the limits for becoming
Charged as a child or an
charged.
adult.
Yeah, like getting rid of the protection system. And surprisingly, they go below 14 because they already know that they know what they're doing. So sometimes we try to fulfill this gap between childhood and adolescence and adulthood.
Which is why I have to say I agree, children know so much. If we consulted them more, asked them more what they needed, they would tell us. And unfortunately, we live in a very fast technological world that for you and I, even for you, you're a lot younger than me, but it's still where they are today, is so much further forward that a slow education system, when they live such fast-paced, information-rich lives.
Yeah, and actually the other problem with the new technologies is that there are no filters for that. So we have to take responsibility for being the filters of what they do or what they access to, what information they see, everything. Because like we used to have other structure, social structure, like religions, like churches or things like that, very strong like families, like nuclear families, and that our values were coming from there. You can agree or not, but on what those values were, but they were values. The problem is that now religion is getting lost. Families are very broken.
Well, a lot of people working, different places, you don't have the time to dedicate.
So then the children see themselves in a space of no limits, no values, and
no guidance.
No guidance, and they go to WhatsApp, Google, Facebook,
Well, as we
to
can
search
see,
for that.
we can see there is a lot of conversation to be had on this subject. Gonzalo, would very much like you to be a regular feature on the programme and come back and actually take your list of main points, address them, because I think parents and teachers alike would very much appreciate having these simple solutions, things we can do, these home cures without going to medications and other ways of dealing with our kids, when a lot of it depends on just communication.
That's right. Communication is very important, and the sense of belonging. Like when you see kids and parents that really have developed that, it's much easier to go through hard times.
Yes, you can. It's far more beneficial, though you'll never make it if you carry on like that. Always positive. We will see you again soon, Gonzalo. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.
Your website obviously is in various languages. People can access it, as we've seen, from all over the world.
Yeah. Right now it's in Spanish and English, but it's going to be launched in French very soon, because we've got some emails from African countries asking for this information to be also in French. And the website is www.ovehum, which stands for Observatory Values Education and Humanity.com, and
we'll see you there.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Gonzalo.
Thank you very much.
Glad you care.
Hey, hey.